हेलो एवरीवन, गुड आफ्टरनून, गुड इवनिंग ऑल। कैसे हैं सब लोग? मेरा नाम है अरविंद और
हम हैदराबाद बॉयज वेयर
आई
वी
वाज
टॉक
थिंकिंग यू वुड
सिग्नल्स
इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ बट एनीवे या
या
थैंक यू।
यस या
uh
यस सो
या
मैं
तो
हूँ
हम बात
सौरभ या
गो
गो
अहेड
अहेड गो अहेड
इंट्रोड्यूस
I think everyone knows us by now who's been
इट्स ट्रू,
watching us,
who's
at
been
least
watching
following
us?
us. Yeah,
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 so
yes.
आज हम बात करने वाले हैं सेमीफाइनल, फर्स्ट सेमीफाइनल जो होने वाला है वानखेड़े में। Going to be the most exciting semi-final so far, I would think. Dominant force India meets uh, perennial semi-finalists who have been always coming here, New Zealand. तो आज हम बात करते हैं, एक प्रीव्यू करते हैं इनके बारे में कि कैसा रहेगा ये गेम, व्हाट आर द हाउ द टीम्स लुकिंग लाइक एंड व्हाट वी थिंक could happen here. Let me share my screen here. Um, so मुझे लगता है कि पहले हम बात कर लेते हैं टीम्स का, फिर हम बात कर लेंगे हेड टू हेड और सो फार मुंबई में इस गेम के लिए क्या हुआ है, एंड एंड देन वी कैन टॉक अबाउट आवर प्रेडिक्शंस। सबसे पहले हम बात कर लेते हैं सौरभ टीम्स के बारे में, एंड देन आपके आपकी राय पूछते हैं कि व्हाट डू यू थिंक ऑफ द टीम्स हियर। तो मैं पढ़ लेता हूँ। दिस इज व्हाट वी थिंक वुड बी द टीम वी आर प्रेडिक्टिंग, ऑब्वियसली वी डोंट नो, बट लगता है कि पॉसिबली ये ऐसा होगा। तो इंडिया का आई थिंक बहुत स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड है। आई थिंक इंडिया इज प्रॉब्ली गोना बी अनचेंज्ड, तो वी थिंक इट विल बी रोहित शर्मा, शुभमन गिल, विराट कोहली नंबर 3, श्रेयस अय्यर 4, Raquel Rahul, Surya Kumar Yadav, Jadeja, and then the bowling starts with Shami, Kuldeep Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah, and then Mohammad Siraj. बहुत ही सेटल्ड टीम है। सौरभ क्या लगता है? आई डोंट थिंक एनी चेंजेस हैपनिंग फ्रॉम इंडिया।
No changes. I think India wouldn't want to change their winning formula. और अब जैसी टीम सेटल्ड हो गई है, आई नो कि हार्दिक पांड्या बीच में चले गए थे, लेकिन आई थिंक स्काई हैज काइंड ऑफ फिट रिलेटिवली बेटर इन दी होल स्कीम ऑफ थिंग्स। तो मुझे नहीं लग रहा है कोई भी चेंज होने वाला है। देयर इज नो स्कोप फॉर योर शार्दुल्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड एंड
या
जो भी और रिमेनिंग स्क्वाड में जो प्लेयर्स हैं। आई डोंट थिंक सो
अश्विन।
इंडिया, या अश्विन या तो मुझे
या
नहीं लग रहा है कि कुछ भी चेंज होने वाला है।
या
कुछ भी चेंज।
या न्यूजीलैंड की हम बात कर लेते हैं। आई थिंक न्यूजीलैंड इज आल्सो मोर और लेस सेटल्ड। शायद एक दो चेंजेस हो सकते हैं, वी थिंक सो, बट आई थिंक मोर और लेस टीम इज सेटल्ड। तो अगर स्क्वाड लगेगा, ऐसा हो सकता है कि इट कुड बी डेवॉन कॉनवे ओपनिंग विद रचिन रविंद्र, हु हैज बीन अ फाइंड ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट, केन विलियमसन नंबर 3, डैरल मिचेल, टॉम लेथम, ग्लेन फिलिप्स, मार्क चैपमैन, एंड देन आपके बॉलर्स आ जाएंगे विच इज मिचेल सैंटनर, ट्रेंट बॉल्ट, one of maybe Henry, mostly Lockie Ferguson, but one of the two. And then last spot, Tim Southey, but Shayad Kyle Jamieson, maybe, but yeah, that अगर changes हो सकता है शायद bowling में हो सकता है, but batting looks pretty settled. सौरभ क्या लगता
True,
है?
true, true. So Matt Henry is, I think, out of the tournament. तो लॉकी फर्गुसन खेलेंगे. It's going to be a battle between Saudi and Jamieson. या फिर ये भी हो सकता है कि I don't know, Jamieson को भी इंजरी थी. I'm not really sure if he played the last match of New Zealand. उनको भी शायद एक इंजरी, he picked up the injury during, I'm not really sure. I think ऑस्ट्रेलिया का मैच था या फिर उसके बाद वाले जो भी मैच था, where even James Neesham got injured. So it could be Jameson or Lockie Ferguson and Tim Southey and Trent Bolt opening the attack. So it could be that. लेकिन barring that, क्योंकि न्यूजीलैंड के स्क्वाड में काफी इंजरीज रहे हैं, barring those spots, न्यूजीलैंड की टीम, they pick by themselves, top of
Yeah.
the order, middle order, or later part of their the early part of their late order, बैटिंग मुझे कुछ लग नहीं रहा है कि चेंज होगा। बस वही है, लास्ट टू स्पॉट्स के लिए थोड़ी फाइट होगी। दैट्स व्हाट आई बेसिकली।
I didn't realize Matt Henry injured हो गए हैं। I forgot
हाँ
about
हाँ,
that.
मैट हेनरी इफ यू रिमेम्बर, आई थिंक कौन
हाँ
सा
हाँ
मैच,
हाँ,
इंडिया का मैच ही था शायद। इंडिया के मैच
शायद इंडिया के मैच ही था।
इंडिया के मैच था, राइट,
I think
इफ
the
आई एम
Lockie
राइट।
Ferguson is in, तो शायद Tim Southey and Kyle Jamieson. Again, these are experienced players. Southey and Bolt are veterans. Possibly their last shot at trying something. Um, फन फैक्ट, न्यूजीलैंड ने कभी फाइनल नहीं पहुंचे हैं. They've always been, well, sorry, I take back. New Zealand came in final in
2019,
2015 and
2015, but
2019, but they never lifted the World Cup.
true.
And India has lifted the World Cup twice, and they're playing at the home ground at the same venue where Dhoni had hit the famous six, and India lifted the trophy. So obviously, home conditions are favoring the home team. But I think it's going to be an exciting game. Before I get to the head-to-head and overall team ka strengths and weaknesses, what we think. um, I'll quickly run through मुंबई में क्या हुआ है इस वर्ल्ड कप में. मुंबई में अभी तक 4 गेम हुई है, तो ताकि थोड़ा आइडिया होगा कि हाउ टीम्स कुड अप्रोच दिस गेम. सबसे पहला मैच हुआ था साउथ अफ्रीका और इंग्लैंड का. South Africa scored almost 400. People will remember that as a game where Klaassen just berserked 100 of 65 balls or something. One of the fastest hundreds by a South
Yeah.
African and in the World Cup, I think in Believe. And South Africa posted a mammoth 399. England collapsed. We all know now that collapse was not a shocker, but has been a norm for England. South Africa won by 229 runs. So that was the first game. Bat first 400 and then won the game big. साउथ अफ्रीका ने दूसरे गेम भी वहीं खेला है अपना. सॉरी, मुंबई में दूसरा गेम भी साउथ अफ्रीका का ही रहा है. दिस टाइम दे प्लेड अगेंस्ट बांग्लादेश. तो दिस टाइम साउथ अफ्रीका स्कोर्ड 382. Or this was a famous game where De Kock scored, well, now the second highest World Cup score of this, well, now third highest. Maxwell and Marsh have just eclipsed them. But De Kock scored 174. He scored 382 again. Another high run scoring batting first. Bangladesh collapsed. I mean, they were never in the game and 233 पे all out हो गए. South Africa won by a big margin again, 149 runs.
True.
थर्ड गेम यहाँ पे हुआ था, इंडिया ने खेला है. सो इंडिया हैज प्लेड हियर वंस ऑलरेडी. अगेन इंडिया पोस्टेड 357. सब लोगों को 90s वाला मिला है. दिस वाज अ गेम एवरीवन चिप्ड इन विद गुड स्कोर्स and they were able to get 357. But more importantly, ये गेम फेमस रहेगा द वे वी हैव ह्यूमिलिएटेड श्रीलंका, व्हिच एक्चुअली सेट चेन मोशंस. जो हम अगले अनदर पॉडकास्ट बात कर सकते हैं, जो श्रीलंका क्रिकेट के साथ जो हाल हुआ है उसके बाद. श्रीलंका collapsed for 55 runs. They lost by 102 runs, 302 runs, sorry. श्रीलंका की टीम का बोर्ड कोलैप्स हो गया. दे रिजाइन द बोर्ड, दे गॉट द बोर्ड. और अब तो श्रीलंका क्रिकेट को ही आईसीसी ने सस्पेंड कर दिया. दिस वाज द गेम व्हिच started it all for them, the collapse and the demise. We all will know, remember this game for Shami's 5 wicket haul, 5 for 18. और फोर्थ गेम जो हुआ है, इट्स अनदर मेमोरेबल गेम इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ वर्ल्ड क्रिकेट बोल सकते हैं. अफगानिस्तान स्कोरिंग 291 एंड ऑस्ट्रेलिया वेर 91 for 7.
True.
And then Glenn Maxwell posts this highest individual score, batting second, highest Australian ODI score, one of the great chases of the world history, the ODI history. Australia scores 293 for 7 and then win by 3 wickets. More or less लग रहा था कि अफगानिस्तान जीतेगा. सौरभ, एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज, बैटिंग first have yielded almost 300 runs by everyone. Leaving aside the Maxwell once in a lifetime innings, pretty much the game has been in Mumbai, in Wankhede. Bat first, 350 या 400 मारो and then stifle the opposition.
True. I think मुंबई में अब एक ये भी चीज है कि how far the New Zealand bowling, just let's give a scenario कि India batting first करती है और I think India prefers to chase, if I'm right, prefers to chase, या फिर if my understanding is right. India अगर second batting करती है, I mean I have all the confidence in the world with the likes of Bumrahs and Shamis that India would be favorites. मुझे ये देखना होगा कि न्यूजीलैंड जब सेकंड बैटिंग करती है, हाउ दे बेसिकली बोल अगेंस्ट दिस फैंसीड इंडियाज बैटिंग लाइनअप. लेकिन आपने सही बोला है, यहाँ पे रेसिपी यही है कि आप बैटिंग फर्स्ट कीजिए एंड यू आर वेरी वेल थ्रू द गेम. आपके चांसेस ऑफ विनिंग द गेम इज वेरी वेरी हाई. सो इट्स गोना बी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग कि pitch, I don't think so is going to change dramatically to my understanding of मुंबई पिचेस पहले के भी और इस वर्ल्ड कप में जो भी हमको मिले. सो इट्स गोना बी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. It's going to be very interesting come day after tomorrow ki कौन टॉस जीतता है, and what is the decision that they basically take.
या आई थिंक पहले स्टार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड कप ऐसा लग रहा था कि इंडिया वाज प्रेफर चेज, शायद चेज ही करना पसंद करते हैं, बिकॉज इंडिया स्ट्रेंथ इज दिस, frankly India's strength is bowling. I mean, people are I know it's shocking for some people, but this is probably the best Indian bowling attack in a World Cup ever in the history of India's World Cup history. So India's strength is bowling. So yeah, I mean, Rohit usually likes to chase on starting of the tournament. में लगा था कि शायद India chase ना करे. But then
True.
you see when India played against like of Sri Lanka and then South Africa, India was able to go ahead and put a high scoring total first. And now in the last game, Netherlands, ठीक है, dead rubber था, but everyone got the batting order. So I think India is in a position where I don't think they care too much about bat first or bat second. I think they
Absolutely.
are comfortably okay either batting first or batting second. हालांकि because ये semi-finals हैं, एक वो added pressure आता है. I think India may prefer to bat first, post a good total, and just put the pressure on New Zealand straight away with the bowling attack we have, and then stifle the game. I think that's probably what India will like to do.
True. I think एक और चीज है कि see it's almost 2019 में इंडिया न्यूजीलैंड सेमीफाइनल्स खेले थे, तो will India will be carrying any sort of demons, क्योंकि 2019 में भी if I remember right,
India
India
was
top of the
chasing.
and India was
Correct.
at the top of the group. India was chasing. Rohit and Virat were the prime batsmen at that point of time. हालांकि I know कि अय्यर और राहुल ने भी थोड़े रन्स बनाए, लेकिन their
Jadeja was
main
also there, but
but main players where the batting has been kind of revolving is the kind of start that Rohit Sharma has been giving and the kind of stability that Virat Kohli has been providing. तो almost 2019 का जो जैसा चल रहा था, almost हम लोग उसी सिचुएशन में आ गए हैं. The only difference is India is going to be playing in their backyard. Almost similar bowling attack भी है, अगर आप याद रखें, minus the addition of मोहम्मद सिराज. कुलदीप यादव खेले थे, आई थिंक यजुवेंद्र चहल शायद खेले थे उस टाइम पे, लेकिन मोर और लेस आप देखेंगे बैक बॉलिंग भी सेम है. लेकिन यस, आई थिंक यू मेड अ वेरी वैलिड पॉइंट. ये अटैक भारत की 2003 comes close in terms of having a very good attack. उस टाइम पे भी काफी अच्छी बॉलिंग अटैक थी, लेकिन
it wasn't.
this,
I mean, yeah, it has not stand out like this. Yes, you're right. 2003 was a very, 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 very good lineup. Obviously, after
हाँ,
that
लेकिन
first
वही,
game in
I mean, it
2003.
was always second to Australia. It was always second to
Correct.
Australia.
It was always second to
लेकिन
Australia, and they ended up second.
और एक और चीज है, वो साउथ अफ्रीका में था, तो साउथ अफ्रीका में थोड़ी कंडीशंस कुड बी लिटिल बॉलिंग फ्रेंडली, बाउंस रहता है,
Correct.
पेस
Back in the
पिच में.
20 साल पहले. Correct.
और
Not anymore,
या
but हाँ.
और अभी अभी यहाँ पे इंडियन कंडीशंस में, आई नो एक और चीज है यहाँ पे अरविंद, मुंबई में सेकंड बैटिंग करते वक्त, इफ आई एम राइट एंड इफ आई कैन रिकलेक्ट दिस, पहले 10 ओवर में 3 या 4 विकेटें हर गई हैं सेकंड बैटिंग करते वक्त.
Correct.
सो अगर
I mean, everyone. I
इसलिए
mean, you'll take out. I mean, Australia and Sri Lanka का तो था ही था. So
था ही था.
Bangladesh and England also, collapsed within the first 15
Collapse.
overs.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
how, I mean, the lower order took it there to, to the scores they have. So I think, in my opinion, what India would do is India would win the toss, bat first, chase them
At first.
through, get a score of 350 plus, template one out, and then let Siraj and Bumrah and Shami do the trick.
True. Absolutely.
What do you think? What do you think Kane Williamson would do? What would be New Zealand's play?
देखो, I mean, the history says, यही दिखाता है कि अगर आप हाई प्रेशर मैच में टॉस जीत रहे हैं तो बैट फर्स्ट करें. It's always been the thing in a high pressure match. तो मुझे भी लगता है कि शायद न्यूजीलैंड भी बैटिंग करना चाहेगी, नंबर 1, कंसिडरिंग इट्स अ प्रेशर कुकर सॉर्ट ऑफ अ सिनेरियो. और दूसरा है कि मुंबई, क्योंकि सेकंड बैटिंग करते वक्त द टीम्स हैव ऑलवेज फाउंड इट डिफिकल्ट. आई मीन, यू कैन जस्ट इमेजिन इफ ऑस्ट्रेलिया फाउंड इट डिफिकल्ट अगेंस्ट अफगानिस्तान, हु डजंट हैव अ वेरी फैंसीड bowling attack minus their spinners, because if you remember, Australia was struggling against their seam bowlers, right? I don't know, Naveen ul Haq, और जो भी थोड़े जो उनके जो seam bowlers थे. So you can just imagine if Australia is struggling against the likes of Afghanistan, the New Zealand wouldn't want to be in that precarious situation of handling Indian seamers who are they're just bowling fire, literally, especially Shami. So I don't think so they would want to chase with this attack. लेकिन एक और point, Arvind, if you can just look at all the matches, just 9 matches that India played.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right in saying that possibly New Zealand played the best? The Indian, हालांकि मैच हार गई, लेकिन
I
उनकी
was about
बैटिंग,
to pull that information right because वो मेरे था सामने ही था. धर्मशाला में खेला था. न्यूजीलैंड स्कोर्ड 273.
एंड इफ यू रिमेंबर, आई थिंक दे मेस्ड अप द लास्ट 10 overs. एक
They
टाइम
messed
ऐसा
up
था
the
कि
last 10 over. They were looking
they could have scored 325,
comfortably
330,
325, 330. They were at least
330,
um,
30
come
to
to
40
think of
runs.
it, they were 250 or 245 and 44, 45th over. Normally, you would think with 5 wickets in hand, you would score at least 60, 70 runs. With the
Minimum
kind of
50. Bare
minimum
minimum
50.
50.
So you were 300 at least. And I think if you look at it, that was the only game New India won. Well, India won, but India won by 4 wickets.
A little bit of
Yeah,
half and
to
puff.
a little bit of, I mean, compare relatively. Overall, it is still a convincing win for India. But if you look at it, they did well again. And I think New Zealand would look at it ki same problem they had. They had a very slow start. Siraj or Bumrah ko they lost wickets, and then Daryl Mitchell came
True,
and scored that century, and then felt they could have done better than what they had. And
true, true, true.
I think New Zealand will try to replicate the same formula, and then this time they want to do better than that. They actually want to ensure that they don't give that opportunity back to India again by that last 10 overs. Rachin Ravindra scored 75, by the way, in that. Apart from that, so I think
True.
Devon Conway and Kane Williamson nahi the. So we'll have to give credit there to New Zealand that maybe शायद New Zealand का play भी वही होगा कि replicate what they did in Dharamshala, but I don't think they did enough in Dharamshala. उनको लगेगा कि यार they could have done better. They would want to replicate the same model, bat first, instead of 273, they score 350, and then put the pressure on the Indian batters on a
Right.
pressure game. Try
True.
to recreate that 2019 wala scenario, take the wickets in regular intervals, and then pressure is basically on the ball.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
उनको लगेगा
Absolutely.
कि unlike 2019 इंडिया के पास अभी ऑलराउंडर नहीं है, so basically स्काई के बाद इंडिया ends the batting. So I think that will be the New Zealand's play: bat first and put the pressure.
True. True. मुझे भी ये लगता है. Yeah.
So let's just talk a little bit head to head. I think last time हमने बात करी हुई है, actually close है. 10 games खेले हैं अभी तक साथ में. आई मीन 2023 के लीग में ऑलरेडी दे वन द लीग, द लेवल लीग गेम जो हमने अभी बात करी थी. उससे पहले इंडिया वन इन 1987 जो इंडिया में हुआ था. सो दैट आई थिंक दिस इज अ प्रिकर्सर फॉर इंडिया. 87 वर्ल्ड कप इंडिया में हुआ था. दे वन बोथ द गेम्स. दे मेट इन 2003 which India won, as we talked comparison to the 2003 India cricket team. Australia won the remaining ones, but Australia ने सारा नॉन इंडिया पे जीता है. दे नेवर बेट इंडिया इन द
New
इंडियन सॉइल.
Zealand.
सो
Give me New Zealand.
sorry, New Zealand, sorry. They bet in England in 1975 and 79. They bet in Australia in 1992,
And England.
and in England again
England.
in 2019, 1919 and 1999 and 2019.
Yeah.
I don't think they met in 2011, and 87 में they हार गए थे. तो I think एक वो रहेगा शायद, एज जस्ट लाइक हम बात कर रहे थे कि शायद इंडिया के पास वो डीमंस हो सकता है कि मीटिंग न्यूजीलैंड अगेन, देयर नेमेसिस ऑफ लास्ट टाइम. बट आई थिंक न्यूजीलैंड के भी वो नेमेसिस होगा कि यार हमने इंडिया में कभी इंडिया को हराया नहीं है.
Planning.
सो बैक ऑफ द माइंड आई थिंक बोथ ऑफ देम इट विल हैव इट एन इम्पैक्ट. तो या,
True.
सो फाइनली विल टॉक प्रेडिक्शंस. व्हाट डू वी थिंक?
आई वॉन्ट दिस टू बी अ वेरी गुड मैच, क्योंकि मेरे हिसाब से ये वर्ल्ड कप काफी फ्लैट रहा है, बारिंग फ्यू मैचेस हियर एंड देयर. थोड़े मैचेस हुए हैं, और साउथ
बहुत
अफ्रीका,
वन साइडेड
पाकिस्तान,
हुआ है.
अफगानिस्तान, और ऑस्ट्रेलिया. इंडिया के तो सारे मैचेस वन साइडेड हुए हैं. आई मीन वी वर जस्ट ट्राइंग टू पिक ऑन फ्यू थिंग्स कि भाई न्यूजीलैंड gave a fight, and that kind of speaks about the dominance of the Indian cricket team in this particular World Cup. Like very few matches, which have gone down to the wires. So I would want this match to be good, Like I just get this feeling that it just might be a one-sided affair in favor of India. I don't want it to be, I
Yeah,
don't want it to be,
I know.
but it is gonna
So I
be
have a theory. So मेरी two theory. I mean, I'm predicting India to win. India is a favorites here, coming home 9-0 in home, league and home game, home conditions, settled the team, most dominant batting and bowling attack so far. I mean, reminds me of Australia of 2000s.
yeah.
Only thing I have against India is वो पनौती वाली वो जो बोलते हैं ना कि law of averages. India has not had a bad game yet. I think that's a हम ये नहीं कह रहे हैं कि हमें बैड गेम चाहिए, बट ये कह रहे हैं कि लॉ ऑफ एवरेजेस होता है जो एक बार यू पीपल हैव वन बैड डे ऑफ डे एंड ऑल दैट, वो अभी तक आया नहीं है एंड वो इट्स बाउंड टू कम. Only thing with India is it should not come in the next two games. Otherwise, this reminds me, if that happens, basically, some players have an off day. We don't know how they react because it's surprisingly been a perfect World Cup for India. I mean,
Hmm.
surprise is a bad word. I think I would say कि it's been the most dominant World Cup performance by India, that all of their batsmen have scored and all of their batsmen have clicked in every game. All
And
of the
all that.
bowling has clicked in every game.
True.
Um, they would get one game where something will go off on a day. They don't want that to happen in semi-final because you don't want to choke here. एक चोकर का टैग आ चुका है. I think it's not a pressure, but it's on the back of at least some people, our audience's mind. India came in semi-final in 2019. They were the dominant team. They lost. India was a dominant team in 2015 as well.
Hmm.
Shikhar Dhawan, Raina, the likes of Kohli and Australia with your performance, they lost to the eventual champions. Um, so I think India do not want to repeat that as a third time. So I think India wants to play a dominant game, put all the critics, wrong that we are here to win this 11 on 11.
Mhm.
I don't want them to be complacent. I think that's the message. Don't be complacent. You've done so well. You want to show that you are the true winners by going and playing the right game you want to play.
I think India just got to concentrate. They play the very same brand of cricket that they played in the last 9 matches. क्योंकि पहले थोड़ा सा criticism रहा है इंडिया का, in the past, especially in the T20s and 2019 का जो semi-finals रहा है, they play sometimes within themselves. लेकिन आप ये वाला वर्ल्ड कप देखेंगे, स्पेशली उनकी, आपने सही बोला. आई थिंक bowling is the key. I think what's going to win India this World Cup, and especially this match, to be very specific, is going to be their bowling. So how New Zealand counters their bowling, which they did pretty well. थोड़ा थोड़ा बहुत ठीक ही ठाक किया था उन्होंने जो ग्रुप मैचेस में. I think that's what is going to matter in this particular match. So it's going to be a mouth-watering contest. I cannot wait for Wednesday, Arvind. I think actually देखा जाए यहाँ पे कल कल ही है मैच, टेक्निकली स्पीकिंग. सो आई एम.
मेरे लिए वेडनेसडे बहुत अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग है. It's 2:30 start. I plan to wake up early for the game.
True. Deserves.
We'll wrap up with this. Player to watch, batsman, bowler, whatever, from both teams. Pick one batsman, one bowler from each team.
I'll pick Rohit Sharma. I think he's due for big one. I'm not saying he hasn't played well. I think he's due for big one. So India में मैं रोहित शर्मा को पिक करूंगा. Although I've gone gaga over Indian bowling. New Zealand में let me pick Devon Conway. Uh, due for some runs. I mean, given the kind of start that he had. Although I think last match में थोड़ी बहुत अच्छी बैटिंग की थी, उन्हें थोड़ा आउट हो गया बीच में. लेकिन consider the kind of start that he had. I mean, everyone would remember that England New Zealand वाला जो सेंचुरी मारी थी उन्होंने. वो मोमेंटम नहीं रहा है उनके बैटिंग में फ्रॉम दैट वेरी फर्स्ट गेम. तो मुझे लग रहा है डेवॉन कॉनवे could have a good game. Santner, हालांकि I know you just asked one player to watch. Santner would be another one that I would
Yeah, one
would be
batsman,
key.
one bowler. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, New Zealand वहां से, और I think India रोहित शर्मा और Shami.
Sure.
Shami for me.
So I am looking at Surya Kumar Yadav. I think he is going to come of
I'll,
age.
I'll play a devil. I'll play a devil's advocate here, Arvind. I don't think Surya Kumar Yadav is going to bat. You know. So
That means they're gonna win it before even he gets the bat. I'm saying if India bats first and Surya Kumar Yadav gets a chance, I think Surya Kumar Yadav will bloom and will.
what about number 50? Number 50 happening in
I think
match.
I mean I think the fairy tale for him would be his number 50 in final.
Finals, huh? No, that'll be
It'll
great.
be as memorable as Dhoni six for for
True.
for the Indian fans. I think I would reserve his number 50 for final.
True, true,
That means
true.
I am saying that they'll get into the finals, but yeah, essentially the plan is uh my prediction is player to watch Surya Kumar Yadav. India bats first. I think he gets to showcase who he is, coming of age in the World Cup. Bowling, so Jasprit Bumrah. I think
I can't look beyond him. Yeah, you're right.
some
He's
of
been
these players play for Mumbai Indians, so
dabbling.
that's a
True.
home ground for them. Here on this side, on the New Zealand side, I think I'm picking bowling Trent Bolt one final time. Maybe it will be the last time we'll see Trent Bolt in a World Cup.
Hmm.
One final hooray. And remember, Trent Bolt also played for Mumbai Indians one, so he's familiar with the conditions, with the ground, with the pitch.
True, true, true.
In the in a day night game, 2020 तो रात को खेलते थे तो hoping Trent Bolt as a bowler to watch. Batsman, I agree with you, Devon Conway. He's due for a one. I know Rachin has been the star, but I think Devon Conway might just be the guy who may give runs for them in this
True,
semi-final.
true.
That's all we have for today. यहीं पे end करते हैं. We will be bringing our second preview for the second game in the next video. तब तक के लिए, if you like this video, please share, please like this video, please comment. Who do you think will win
True.
between India and
Yeah.
New Zealand? And do you think India would get into the semi-finals or finals pretty easily? Share us your thoughts in the comment section below. Yeah, please subscribe, please share. Till then, we will talk again
Bye bye.
later. Bye bye.